I was a kid once. Luckily, I outgrew that pretty quickly. Can you imagine having to spend your whole life watching a bootleg copy of Chicken Little 5 times a week?
This morning...
I think I found the source of my sleep paralysis demon. If you took a look into my upbringing in the late 2000s, you can sum it up in a pretty repetitive pattern of what I did in my free time. I wake up, I regret, I go to sleep. The end. No, but seriously, I would spend most of the day laboring away at video games, Hot Wheels, and movies. Oh, and occasionally shitting myself at a shoe store. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to similar experiences we had as kids that shaped us to be the people we are today. It explains why most of us are depressed, but still. I think one of the biggest indicators of identifying someone's inner workings are the kind of movies they grew up watching. More specifically, their childhood movie collection. Like, oh, you had the B movie with the back cover ripped off? No wonder you're such a goddamn twit. And hey, I'll be moving soon and need to pack up all of my stuff. So why not join me as we go down the road of insanity that is my DVD collection.
But for that, we're gonna need to go upstairs. Alright, we're here. So here is my, what I call the creme of the creme. Only the true finest pieces of literature and film art make it up here. Hang on, we gotta clear out some space first. So, here we have my childhood DVD collection. So here, I'll be looking at a bunch of small little words for these titles, so I'm gonna take out my reading glasses. So unlike my video game collection, I don't actually remember what order I got these. These are all kind of just jumbled together in a lot of my mind. So I'll just be picking it off of what I remember to be some of the older ones. And I'll be making my way through. So starting off with some of the oldest of the old, we have here an ancient relic called a VHS. And this right here is probably what is my oldest thing in general. This is literally the oldest thing I own. It's from back all the way from when I was 3 years old, probably. Not sure how well you can see that. Toy Story 2.
It looks so small and pathetic in my hands now. I remember this used to eclipse my whole body. But now, it's just another reminder that I'm old and sad and will die one day. Even in my oldest memories, I never saw the case for this thing. It was always fresh out the womb as far as I'm concerned. So I covered up its shame with this generic slipcover I had lying around, where it's been residing ever since. Man, good thing it has this thin layer of paper to protect it from being more damaged than it already is. Look at this, man. It's cracked, it's misfired, it's dirty and gross.
It's been through a lot, alright? This old timer has been through quite a lot. I remember watching this when I was a kid laying in bed on like my old CRT, I think that's what it's called. And I don't know, I just really like this movie a lot. I swear to God, I swear to the gods in heaven and on earth, this used to belong to my cousin. This was straight up my cousin's VHS. But whenever I tell him about it, he's like, no, I never owned that, that was yours. I'm like, what? There's no way, like, I swear, I'm not going crazy here. This 100% belonged to him. But he keeps saying that no, it never was, so I don't know what the hell he's on.
He's older than me, so I guess you can trust his memory better than mine. But if I had a time machine, I would travel back in time and stalk my 4-year-old self from a distance to figure out who owned this VHS once and for all. Anyway, Toy Story 2 is an amazing film, probably my favorite from the series. And no, I'm not biased because I grew up with this one. I just really enjoyed the story and locations, and the exciting climax where they're running around on an airport. Like, it just makes me bubbly inside. It's just a shame I always had to wait 10 minutes for the movie to start. Yeah, back in the day of VHSs, there was no menu to start the movie. You had to rewind the tape if you wanted to watch it again. And a bunch of companies had the bright idea to put little previews before the actual thing they came for started. I'm sure most people rewinded the tape all the way to the start and just fast forwarded to the actual movie. But a 4-year-old doesn't have any concepts of hand-to-eye coordination, so I would just sit through everything. And man, I hate to say it, but a lot of these commercials wormed their way into my heart. I believe the terminology is parasite. Oh, but I can't help it if I'm feeling nostalgic over dinosaurs. I never watched the movie, but I saw the preview for it so many times, I feel comfortable inviting it over for Thanksgiving. There's this weird CGI announcement for Disney California Adventure before the park opened in 2001. Holy crap. The Emperor's New Groove, Fantasia 2000, the Pixar Lamp Short, and that one coming soon bumper. And you've heard about post-credit scenes, but have you ever heard about post-credit ads? Oh wait, that's what they are. This movie had little blooper reels play over the credits, so I always stuck around long enough for them to end, funny enough. And I was always greeted with...
It's the new action-packed Buzz Lightyear movie!
And afterwards, a live performance of Woody's Roundup, which is when I would proceed to take the tape out and go do something else, because that always bored me.
It feels weird to be nostalgic over commercials or ads, because you usually hate those. And you still do as an adult.
It's not all sunshine and rainbows though. I left out one specific ad that left its mark on my poor young psyche. This ad is so dreadful, so disturbing, so vile, that I would actively try to skip it whenever I knew it was next.
Whoa!
Let me explain. I wasn't scared of Mike and Sully, you know, the actual monsters. No, it's around the end, when Sully leaves Mike behind in the room, and you hear this growling.
You big throw rug? Oh, nice doggy. Nice big doggy. Sully, Sully, open the door! Open the door!
It seems so silly and so stupid right now, but this scene freaked me the hell out. We all have our personal traumas, okay? Some of us were prisoners of war, other of us watched freaky commercials. It's not a competition. I don't think it even registered to me that it was a dog that he was scared of. I don't know what I thought. I just didn't like it.
I was like a little weasel. I was a little coward, but yeah, it was creepy. I don't know how else to describe it. It was creepy. So there it is, the very first DVD, not even DVD, VHS. This prehistoric media right here. Next up, so this isn't actually one of the older ones I own. This for sure belonged to my cousin because he straight up gave it to me. I was at his house one day and I was looking at his. Oh, you have SpongeBob VHS, and he's like, yeah, you can keep it if you want. I'm like, oh, awesome. This was like 2019, so relatively recent times, quote unquote. And I mean, even though I didn't really need to, I definitely watched this a few times.
The episodes included are Shanghai, Gary Takes a Bath, Hooky, Life of Crime, and Pickles. Whoa, way to spoil the ending of Shanghai, guys. Overall, a pretty decent selection of episodes. Good to know my gene pool had some standards at least. Even though there was hardly a reason to watch this when I already had some SpongeBob DVDs with these episodes, I still like to pop this in every now and then for, I don't know, variety? To remind you that it's still loved? Listen, just try not to question the mind of young Chris. That guy's a weirdo. Okay, so the excuse of not having a functioning brain isn't gonna work now, because I could definitely work a remote at this point. But I still chose to watch these previews. Actually, maybe that excuse does still work. I'm not as fond of these as the others, but they were still pleasant to watch. There's this long and psychedelic bumper for the Nickelodeon logo that features two kids running around a maze, being chased by an orb of light before it catches them and kills them. Nah, I'm kidding. But still, what a weird little oddity.
It's a good time. So yeah, it's been through the ringer a bit. For the top, it had the top before, but it ripped off. 5 waterlogged adventures. This was a good little, you know, fun pastime. It's not like I actually need it that much. So now we're getting on to the actual DVD collection. Right there. This right here is my childhood, baby. I used to spend ages watching some of these movies. So you can probably tell I tried to organize them a bit. Well, before they went into like mass chaos, I did try to put a little thought into how I organize them. I'm like, okay, so this is where I'm gonna put some of the cartoons. Okay, this is where I put the live action stuff. But I don't know. After a while, you just stop giving a crap about organizing them. So I'll just be picking off from what I can remember with my earliest. So starting off, we have the 3 Spider-Mans from the 2000s, the Sam Raimi trilogy. These things I watched religiously. You have no idea. I would watch each of these movies 3 times every day. Like, every day. I had one of those little, they kind of look like laptops, but you put a DVD in them and they play for you.
What I meant was this Insignia portable DVD player. I recognize that distinct green box from anywhere. What's funny is that half the time, the normal TV wasn't even in use. I just like plopping myself on the floor to watch on this little dinky ring for absolutely no reason. What was my problem, man?
But yeah, God, these things were awesome for me. For some godforsaken reason, I thought that the 3rd movie was the 2nd one in the trilogy. I don't know why. I would be like, oh yeah, the 3rd one happened and then the 2nd one's the last one. Yeah, that makes sense. No, obviously there's a 3 there. I couldn't read at the time, so that's probably why.
Maybe also because we got the 2nd one last, and my mind associates it with being the last chronologically.
I'm glad I still own some of them. What are these called? Not manuals. That's for video games. Promotional materials. Okay, this one doesn't have anything. This one's boring. This one's the middle child that they never wanted. Even though it's the last one. Okay, this one I lost a long time ago, but I hardly ever put these in. Because they're not movies, they were like special features. And why would little kid me care about that? But yeah, these were so cool. I remember being in preschool and daydreaming about Spider-Man, about Dr. Octopus, about Venom. These bring me back. These are true national treasures right here. And we got Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I just decided to bring this up here. We don't have the first one for some reason. My dad never bought it. By the time we got this, I was already like past my. Actually, how old was I? I was probably like 12. But I don't really have many memories of this one. It's fine. I didn't watch it that much. It's fine.
Before we move on, there's still some more tapes that I once owned that have unfortunately been lost to the sands of the bargain bin. A small handful of Disney VHSs consisting of The Lion King, The Lion King 2, The Aristocats of all things, Pocahontas, The Emperor's New Groove, and Toy Story 1. Aha! See, I told you I wasn't biased. I owned both of them. I might have also owned Pocahontas too. I don't know, I can't remember. I never really cared for these movies anyway. There's nothing awful about Pocahontas, but even as a kid, I knew this was not for me. It was kind of boring and weirdly angsty for me. I just didn't vibe with it, and I genuinely can't remember watching it more than maybe 2 times. The same, however, cannot be said for the rest of these tapes. Except Lion King 2. Nah, I kid. While I did like this movie, it didn't hold a single candle to the first. It just didn't grip me as much. I can't even remember the names of any of the new characters. The story wasn't as engaging or emotional. If I don't feel devastated watching a kid's film, then what even is the point anymore? And I think this was the first time a film introduced a strange sinking feeling in my stomach. This idea of mischaracterization formed in my head. Yeah, I didn't like how Simba was painted in a more hostile light. He's supposed to be the good guy who's always right about everything. Don't make him be in the wrong. At least that's what I thought as a kid. I haven't seen this film in years, so I can't really comment on how I feel about it now. The same could be said about The Aristocats. This movie was a joy to watch. So joyful I can't even remember the main plot. I was blinded by happiness. Something about an evil butler, right? While I did love this movie, I mostly only remember the song at the end. Everybody wants to be a cat. It was catchy. But yeah, I'm only getting bits and pieces here. Bits and pieces, like Mr. Potato Head. This is the transition to Toy Story. Wow, I feel like a YouTube film critic with how negative I'm being. But I love Toy Story 2 more than the first. I was just too used to the personalities of the second, which I watched first. And when I watched Toy Story 1, they're so different and mean to each other. No, but in all seriousness, I did very much enjoy this film. Especially when we get to Sid's house. That's when things really kick things up with the creepy toy amalgamations and the trauma they inflict on Sid. The heroes learn a valuable lesson of friendship, and overall, this is a great movie. But not as great as the crowning jewel of these VHSs. The Lion King. Holy crap. What a movie. It's no competition. I watched this one way more than all the others. What can I even say? It's the goddamn Lion King. It's better than Pocahontas. Yeah, I said it. The story, the animation, the songs, almost everything about this movie is perfect. I don't throw around this word very easily, but The Lion King deserves it. It's a masterpiece. Thus, my little VHS collection comes to an end. This was my introduction to home media, and my love of watching movies pretty much began here.
Ha! Boom, baby!
Oh yeah, you didn't think I forgot, did you? The Emperor's New Groove was my absolute favorite movie ever. I am fully aware that The Lion King objectively has a higher production value, but I literally could not care less about that kind of stuff. This movie was so fun and goofy and charming, all the characters and settings were amazing, the theme song was an earworm. How could this not be my #1 pick? And of course, just like Toy Story 2, these came loaded with previews. Some of these have been buried deep in the crevices of my subconsciousness for years. Rewatching some of these was like having a whiplash. Every now and then, the next line said would pop into my head like my brain was trying to rewire itself back to its infant self. I won't go over every of these, but some highlights include Muppet on Human Action, Buzz beating Woody to death with a squeegee, a baby walking for the first time, not for her father, but for Mickey Mouse, and the preview for Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, focusing more on the voice actress than the actual movie. You can't make this stuff up. So yeah, overall, a bit of a strange little combination of Disney movies I owned, but I'm glad I grew up with them. And I kinda wish I still had them, on VHS and everything. One day, randomly, my mom decided to donate them to one of those secondhand used stores. I don't know why she did that. I did not consent to getting rid of them. I wish she consulted the, actual owner of the damn movies, but it's whatever. I do miss them dearly. I know, I'll just buy them off of eBay to relive that good old nostalgia.
At least I'm happy. So over here, we got some of my older movies. Let's talk about... Yeah, let's pick these three out. I do remember these being some of the older ones, like some of the very old ones. Thomas and the Toy Workshop. Thomas the Tank and Thomas in France, actually. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't have specific nostalgia for this one. I watched it a bunch of times. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but for some reason, I don't really have much connection to it. There's nothing inside. I don't know if I lost it or it just never came with it.
We all go through hyperfixiations. Mine were trains. Yes, throughout history, I've gotten multiple of those Thomas the Train toy sets. Being able to build your own tracks and have characters going around them, they were awesome! And I also remember watching the show a lot. Though where specifically is kinda lost on me. Maybe PBS? Sprout? Nevertheless, somewhere along the line, I got this Thomas and the Toy Workshop DVD. It's always funny when a compilation is named after one of the episodes, especially when there isn't really a theme to what's included. And the title episode is the 4th one. Anyway, I'm having a bit of trouble figuring out what to say. Thomas has a much simpler show, relatively speaking. It's a comfort show, full of friendship and hard work. While I did put this on plenty of times, I won't lie, I was mostly looking forward to listening to the 2 songs included. They were hella catchy, and had little glimpses into episodes this DVD didn't have. And one other thing.
This came with like a game where you can color in some of the trains and other vehicles. I think there was like a white plane thing.
This game is hilarious because I'm pretty sure they only hired one guy to do all the voices. And man, he's trying his gosh darn best.
Everyone is anxiously awaiting a new paint job. Very good. Blue looks best on me. The quarry can sometimes dim my paint. My turn. Do you know what color I am?
And yes, regrettably, I spent way too much time on this stupid game. It's just an itch, you know? Oh, I nearly forgot. I also owned this movie, Thomas and the Magic Railroad. That was this weird live action hybrid thing. I no longer own this, sadly. I'm not sure what happened to it. But what a weird piece of Thomas lore. Like, the world was in a mural or something, and the main bad guy was weak to sugar? Am I remembering that correctly? Weird.
But I don't have much else to say with this for some reason. So yeah, in it goes. Ice Age. The very first Ice Age. Look, the DVD box is even white and everything, because ice is white. Oh my god. They were so clever, man! Ice Age is the must-see for the whole family. Who said that? I can't see. Paul Clinton, CNN. I know it's kind of a meme nowadays to hate on Ice Age, but the first one, I think it still holds up relatively well. I mean, it's been years since I've seen this, but I still remember really enjoying this. I love this movie. It was a lot of fun. Absolutely hilarious. 2 thumbs up. There's the inside. I don't know if it came with the theme. But yeah, I watched this a surprising amount of times. Like, more so than the kids should watch Ice Age. God, I can't get over it. It's white like ice. That's so clever. Here we have Monsters Inc. Okay, now this I can with. This one, oh my god. I watched this. I feel like I keep saying that for every single movie so far. But yeah, I watched this a lot.
As a child, you don't realize your own mortality when you're watching the same thing over and over again. Nowadays, I feel like my death is inching closer every time I pop in the disc to watch something.
You can see I still own the... What the hell do you call these? They're not manuals. I'm gonna call them manuals. I remember there's like a pull-out thing. Yeah, it extends like a Playboy magazine, so you can see all like the special features it has.
For some cheeky reason, they decided to add a page with all of the characters' in-universe signature. It's worthless, but I love that they did this for seemingly no other reason than to be cute, I guess.
I remember I was in a car. I think I got this from like a store and I was opening this in a car. I remember thinking this guy had such an ugly signature. That's literally my biggest memory with this thing. He had the ugliest freaking signature I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know why that just stuck out to me so much. But anyway, that's just the main thing. The absolute like ultimate time waster. Like, I'm telling you, I spent way too much of my childhood on the second disc. This second disc is like a magnum opus of what extra special features should be. I think I spent more time on the second disc than the actual goddamn movie.
Holy cranky Kong. Where do I even begin? Monsters Inc. bonus disc is quite possibly the winner for the most time I wasted on anything. I spent hours upon hours on this one disc. There's just so much on it. You get little animated shorts like Mike's new car and For the Birds, commercials, trailers and TV spots, little mini games and interactive stories, animated holiday messages and commercial breaks, in-universe training videos, location fly-arounds of all the settings in the movies, art gallery, story concept art. At this point, I'm just listing off everything in the brochure, but I could literally gush about this DVD forever. They put so much effort into the presentation. There's so much heart in the menus. I repeat, the menus themselves have heart in them. You could tell the people behind this really cared about what they were doing. And that's the main focus of this DVD. The people. Behind the glamour of all the collected shorts and games, you have the option to take a tour around Pixar Studios, the creators of Monsters Inc., and really get to know everyone. They're not some sterile, no-nonsense business working solely for profit, or at least they weren't. They're creatives that let their ideas run wild, who get to dream about worlds and bring them to life through the magic of film. It's so wholesome to see how much fun everyone seems to be having in their, at the time, new studio. You get so many behind-the-scenes features documenting how different the original pitch for Monsters Inc. was, and how it was eventually shaped to be what we all know and love. Like, did you know Sully was gonna be a loser in a lot of these? That was wild finding that out as a kid. And that's the thing. I saw all this when I was a kid. I was, for the first time, seeing just how much went into making a movie. This disc helped me appreciate for the first time ever the people and teams behind every movie. It made me realize that movies were not just products, they were art. This disc? Maybe. Oh my god, I just found a secret. If you click on this eye in the menu, you get taken to the secret video where they congratulate you for finding this Easter egg and let you see a bunch of funny little animation gags. Oh, this was so cool to find as a kid. You can also find an Easter egg by clicking on this paper airplane, and it shows you a montage of a bunch of paper airplanes being flown in the studio. You can find secret doors with even more goofs and gags. So yeah, while I did like the behind the scenes stuff, most of my time was spent on everything else. Like, did you know that Pixar made animated shorts for Ponkiki 21, a Japanese show that features a character that freaked me out more than any monster from the actual film?
Fantastic memories with this one. That second disc was just chef's kiss, just perfect. Everything extra special. I keep saying extra special. Just special features should be. The B movie, the internet's favorite movie in existence. So, as you can see, the back is kind of ripped out. I don't know how they managed to do that. I don't know what heathens they had in there. But I once let one of my cousins borrow this. Not even a week, for like 2 days. I got it back like this. Somehow, they had to deliberately like think about this. Look, they kept the spine intact, but they ripped out the back. So what I'm guessing, they had like one of them was really young. So I'm guessing that they saw something they liked on the back and they wanted to keep it, so they ripped it out and just didn't tell me about it. But yeah, I have no idea what they did. I've never asked them about it because it's the B movie. I don't care that much. This will forever have the legacy of being black on the back. Yeah, that's the inside. Very boring disc. This DVD had like those special like clips on the bottom and top. They ripped those off too.
As much as I want to make a joke about how the case is now indicative of the quality of the movie, I need to come clean. I unironically really enjoyed the B movie when I was younger. Like, this was one of my top picks whenever I was in the mood to watch a movie. And after all these years, I think I figured out why. This movie is fucking insane. The plot literally changes like 4 times. You think you have it figured out, then it blindsides you with Winnie the Pooh getting shot. This movie is the closest thing a child could get to an acid trip. And it's for that reason, this movie was so rewatchable to me. You get so lost in the plot that by the end, you forgot what even happened to this movie. So when you rewatch it, it's like you're watching it for the first time. It's the circle of life. Also, this has a little game included, and it's actually freaking impossible.
But I think one of the people who made it, yeah, Jerry Seinfeld, he's a pedophile, so... In it goes. Robots! This is a weird one, isn't it? It has a clear case because I guess robots are futuristic and clear. So this disc right here, it's scratched. And I remember as a kid, like, I barely ever watched this movie because it was scratched and I didn't want to deal. For some reason, it kind of scared me too. I was a weird kid.
Okay, maybe scared wasn't the right word. It's more so that the anticipation of waiting to get to the part that freezes bothered me. Or who knows, maybe it did scare me. I'm not really sure what to say about robots other than I liked it, I guess. This movie was always a bit of a black sheep because of the scratch. And the clear case was almost like a warning before tempting fate. But when I could watch it, I enjoyed it very much once it got rolling. It's generally a really entertaining flicks.
But yeah, that's that. Those movies, I'm like not really sure at what point in time I got them. But these next two, I do remember. WALL-E and Monster House.
So when I was about 5 or so, I went on a trip to visit my grandparents in a distant land. And when I came back, it was Christmas and my gifts were already under the tree. This was before I was really into video games, so getting movies was super cool back then. Though I am curious as to what the thought process behind Monster House was.
Weird movie to give me on Christmas, Mom and Dad. You can see, oh, this poor WALL-E box has been through hell and back. Oh, this is so cool because you could like pull it out and the movie would be inside. Oh, it was just the coolest thing to me. It is crumbling apart. It is old. It is barely holding itself together. That's what happens when you have flimsy boxes with special gimmicks. But I don't care, man. I love this. And I love the movie too. God, WALL-E. WALL-E is so... yeah, it's fine. It's mediocre.
In all seriousness, this movie is fantastic. Just like The Lion King, I feel like there's nothing I could say that hasn't already been said. It's an absolutely mesmerizing, charming, and deep movie that will never get old. But enough about the movie. Let's go back to what actually matters. The case. This thing came with a bunch of little inserts. I have no idea where mine are. Maybe they fell into my cereal. I don't know. But I want to focus on this little booklet. On the back is a little advertisement for the movie Up. And I was smitten. Seeing a zoom out of a little house being carried by a bunch of balloons, my mind was snared. I adored this little stupid booklet just for this one image. I remember it got stuck in between the mechanisms once and I couldn't get it out. My dad had to pry it open and it tore the back a bit, while simultaneously tearing my heart. My dad just put tape on it and we were good to go. This little booklet meant that much to me. I can't explain it. All in all, an amazing gift from my parents. Though in doing research, turns out there's a 3-disc special edition of this? Really, Mom and Dad? You couldn't go the extra mile?
Monster, I love this movie. I love it. I watched this a lot too, like a lot. I remember being scared of the house, but it was a good scare. You know, it was a good kind, not the kind where your cousins put on Jason on the TV and then you have nightmares for weeks. No, this is a good kind of scary.
This movie captures the imagination of that childlike fear so well, and the characters acting exactly how kids this age do, it's so damn fun. And when the house uses trees as arms and chases them around, and then becoming an even scarier and spikier monster, and forget it, man, this movie is genuinely freaking good and entertaining. And the setting is oddly cozy. It's October, everything is so smooth and comfy, but not as comfy as the movie previews. Yeah, we're back to these things. To be honest, I seldom remember most of the DVD previews, except for this one stupid little superhero flicks. For some reason, this one is burned into my memory. I mean, how can it not be? Just look at it. Did they forget to put text over this graphic? Oh my god, please tell me they did. That would be so funny.
One of my favorite parts, the disc. Look at the goddamn disc. This is like the plan, one of the plans in the movies. And I just remember drawing that on a piece of paper myself because I liked it so much. So you might have noticed these two things right here. So that's a long story, but to cut it short,
I was at this Christmas present drive waiting in line, and at the same time I was reading FNAF The Silver Eyes on Kindle. Then randomly this lady comes up to me and shows me a cool trick you can do with these things. And after talking for a bit about God or something, she gifted me these little curves, and because I had FNAF on my mind, I decided to store these in my Monsters House DVD case because Gil Keenan had directed this movie and at the time was developing the FNAF movie before it all blew over and it went to Blumhouse.
You know, which one's bigger? The blue one's bigger. And now, ooh, the red one's bigger. It's a cool optical illusion. When my cousins came over, I showed it to them. They're like, what? And I felt like the coolest guy ever. I can't get over the house's design, you know, the teeth, the insides being like brought to life. It's more than a haunted house. It's a monster house. Open season. This is a weird movie, isn't it? Yeah, no, it was like stretched. Like at the beginning, after a certain point, it would just like freeze and I'll never be able to watch it properly. But then I cleaned it one day, and I think that was the problem. It was just dirty.
So funny enough, it was scratched just around the part where Boo got stranded in the forest, which might have been a blessing in disguise because everything afterwards is pretty weak. Or at least that's what people say. Everything after the vomit is a blur to me. All I needed was that drunk store orgy and I was happy.
Yeah, this is a weird movie. I remember liking it. It was fun, but even as a kid, I was like, yeah, okay, time to watch something else. Open season DVD. Okay, I don't know why there's jumbled up letters right there. But yeah, I didn't spend too much time with this movie. Oh, I completely forgot about this. I completely forgot about this. I'll explain that later. But I completely forgot. Let's keep that for later. Chicken Little. As you can see, there's the super official, super legitimate DVD for it that I bought legally. It's a weird. Even as a kid, I thought this was like a weird cover. God, it's ripped. I don't know what happened there. I'm starting to think that the cover itself is bootleg. Yeah. This movie it's missing a few frames. I remember at one point at the beginning, there's like, Dad, I saw it. You gotta believe me. And it turns white. I thought it turned white on purpose. I thought the movie was being dramatic. But no, it's just missing.
And over the years, it's actually degraded more and more. So there's just these random splotches of white sprinkled throughout the movie. Fortunately, it's still mostly watchable. And yes, I liked this movie when I was a kid. I know it's universally panned nowadays. But come on, I was like 8. The words standards and quality haven't been invented yet. Also, none of the special features worked, which just makes this even sadder.
Yeah, there's Chicken Little. So it's a bit of a black sheep in my collection. Or a white chicken. You know what? Let's get it over with. Now that we're talking about, less than official DVDs. Here we have a SpongeBob DVD and Kung Fu Panda. Oh crap. We have The Incredibles and... What even is this? Oh, Madagascar. Okay, I have stories to tell about these ones.
My mom came home and gave these to me. This Spongicus disc had a good set of season 6 episodes, and while I didn't watch Kung Fu Panda religiously, it was still a joy to put in every now and then.
There is nothing in my entire collection, I don't think, that holds a candle, that holds like a minuscule, a little needle to the freaking Incredibles. This movie, I cannot express to you. I've exaggerated how much I watch. I haven't exaggerated. I've just I've been pretty poignant. I think that's the term on how much I've seen these movies. This one, I just about burned this into my mind so many times. I love this movie. I loved it so much. It's so good, and it's not even official. I love this DVD so much. It's not even real. Now, Madagascar is a weird one. I didn't know it was a bootleg too, but it's purplish on the back, so I think it is.
My cousin randomly gave this to me in a little white sleeve one day.
I don't even know why he gave this to me. I think he just didn't want it anymore. he wasn't exactly... he was a nice cousin, but he wasn't exactly the generous kind. Again, none of these hold a candle to The Incredibles. This movie. God, this movie. I don't know what happened to the jewel case. I do not remember putting this in here. I legitimately don't remember doing that at all. So this is another weird outlier, because this one I hadn't owned until relatively recently, like 2019, 2018.
My aunt got this at a yard sale when she was visiting. It was for her children, but apparently they didn't want it, so she just asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, okay, sure, thanks. And to show my appreciation, I barely ever popped this in.
A great movie. I just don't. I haven't watched the DVD one. Tom and Jerry. I had a Cartoon Network back in the day, so I definitely watched this a lot. I always like this in the back. Such a funny little thing. You can see that it stands out because it has a weird case. I don't remember any other case looking like this. You just open it up like that. That's weird. That's weird, isn't it? Episodes including The Missing Mouse, Flying Cat, Two Little Indians, The Flying Sorcerer. So kind of like spooky, relatively spooky episodes.
Yeah, no shit, genius. That's kind of the theme of the whole goddamn compilation, isn't it? Anyway, I adored watching Tom and Jerry on TV whenever it was on Boomerang. So having this little set of amazing episodes was awesome. And I love how weird some of these get. Seriously, my brain will forever be marked by that freaking ending in The Missing Mouse. Jesus Christ, man. No wonder the rating is still pending in Canada.
Tom and Jerry Spotlight. Collection. Volume 2.
Something I always liked about this collection is the cover itself. Just something about the silver background with the character line art and the black borders with sprinkles. It just feels so fancy and luxurious. Now this is how you display confidence in your product, especially considering that the other 2 volumes come nowhere near this level of quality. Yeah, that's right, I'm making a stand. Volume 2 Spotlight Collection has the superior cover. I'm tired of your Volume 1 and 3 propaganda.
So again, it's one of those like slip out things, so it's not in the best condition for that, you know. It withers away through the ages. Oh god, it's like stuck in there. Come on. God, I can't get out. Don't cut any of this. I want everyone to see how much I struggle taking out Tom and Jerry. That's like actually stuck in there. Holy crap. Don't cut any of this out. Brother! I want to break it. Okay, here we go. There was probably just something sticky on it.
Yeah, I can go literally all day about the episodes included, but because I don't want this video to be 4 hours long, I'll just go over my favorite one. Old Rockin' Chair Tom. Mammy Two Shoes replaces Tom with a way faster orange cat and gets the better of both Tom and Jerry. So they work together to get rid of him. As much as I love the rivalry between Tom and Jerry, I love them working together even more. Just seeing them being friendly to each other made me so damn happy. Then it was right back to trying to kill each other. Which may explain this disclaimer at the bottom. Either that or there was something very scandalous in this collection that I have chosen to block out of my memory. Yeah.
Okay, ignore the weird stain. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Oh god, look at this. This is quality right here. This is how you do a collection. And you can see it's cracking a bit here. I don't remember how that happened. Things just happen, alright? Fang Feathered Friend, Triplet Trouble. Yeah, just a bunch of classic Tom and Jerry episodes. Great stuff right here. I don't know. I wonder how much this goes on for eBay. I'm not selling any of this. I'm keeping my shit forever. Alright, so we changed positions because the camera boy is a bit of a lazy bum and didn't want to stand on his 2 feet anymore.
I was standing for 40 minutes.
Shut up, camera boy!
Oh.
Onward we go. Oh god. To my SpongeBob collection. Look at this, man. Look at this.
So, I have a confession to make. You've probably picked up on it by now, and think of me as a lesser person. But growing up, I liked watching SpongeBob. Oh yeah, I know, what a crazy experience you had, Chris. What next, you're gonna tell me that you threw up on your parents' bed? Twice? Really breaking new grounds here. But yes, I loved everything about Sponge Robert Quadrilateral Pants. I talked about how Toy Story 2 is the oldest thing I own, but equal to, if not even older than that, was this SpongeBob DVD compilation, Absorbing Favorites, that I unfortunately no longer have. It may have gotten lost when we moved out of our old house, or maybe I just chewed it into oblivion, who knows. Ripped Pants, The Fry Cook Games, Mermaid Man, and Barnacle Boy Club SpongeBob? Words can't describe the feeling of having nothing to worry about, not a single priority other than watching your favorite show over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure I even watched them in a different language. That's how beloved this disc was. So a few years later, I expressed my love by replacing it. The complete 3rd season. What a set. This thing has been through the ringer. Kinda what happens when your case isn't made out of pure plastic. But still, it's so nifty because you can see Squidward and Patrick through this little window. And when you take it out, it shows all the other characters in season 3 hanging out at the Krusty Krab. Cool.
I do not remember for like the love of my life, do not remember where I got this. And these are less impressive, but they're cool too. And they do stuff with the DVD disc. I love SpongeBob. I didn't have Nickelodeon that much. It's weird. We switched cables so many times. We went from not having Cartoon Network to not having SpongeBob, or Nickelodeon to not having Cartoon Network, and over and over again. I feel like every person who owns this has done this once in their life when they were a kid. That I bent SpongeBob and his hat a bit to make more room on the window. Like you can see the little creases where I wanted to bend it. The reason why I think everyone does this because my cousin also owns this. One of my cousins owned this. And theirs is even worse. Theirs are bent all the way. I wanted to like look at theirs to see how it looked like uncompromised, like new. But no, theirs is way worse. So let me know if you own this. Did you do this too? Did you bend his hat and his little spongy piece? Lost at Sea, another collection.
Another old I just saw SpongeBob and I was like, a neato selection of episodes. Not much else to add.
I have a long history with SpongeBob, right? Me and SpongeBob go way back. We're best buds. The complete second season. And this is cool because it's not just like looking through and then you pull it out and he like drops down. It's like, hey, welcome to my house. Or that's how I always interpreted it when I was a kid. And again, you have the whole crew around here. I will always lament that I never, I was never able to get the first season. I made up for it with something else that I'll show later. A little something super. So these I got later in my life. I was probably like 13 when I got this one, 14, and this one I was maybe 10. It's hard to remember, but I definitely remember watching this on early Saturday mornings when you were a little kid and had infinite energy to get up.
I know everything after season 3 is kind of the slow decay of what made SpongeBob so good, but I still consider some of these seasons to be, pretty decent. Probably through massive rose-tinted glasses, but I digress. Though something we can all agree on is the quality of the boxes was definitely downgraded. Ironically, it seems to be using much better material. But where's the pizzazz? Look at this thing! I mean, what's the theme here? Cold colors? It's boring! And it's not even a full season. Also, I'm pretty sure these episodes are on the bootleg disc. Regardless, I still enjoyed my time with the set. It was just more SpongeBob to me at the end of the day. What more could I need?
Maybe a friend.
See the episode listed here. This one I purely got because of the cover. You slip it out and it's, oh, he's wearing SpongeBob's pants. That's so cool. That's so impressive to like little early teenage me, little tween me. This plastic, I think they wanted to like bleed out some little kids with this plastic. It's some of the hardest and sharpest plastic I've ever like laid hands on. It's weird. That's a weird feeling.
Yeah, as you can probably see, these are mostly Patrick-centered episodes. Looking back, some of these episodes are a little hit or miss. Not that it ever bothered me, I was a mindless, brain-dead consumer. Yeah, how dare this 12-year-old like things. And at least it didn't include yours, mine, and mine. Man, what a piece of shit, stupid, fueled, f***ing worthless pile of covered in flakes. God, I hated this episode so much. Fuck this episode. It can go die alone in pain. Get out of here. Delete it. Delete this off the face of history. Don't preserve it. Turn this into lost media. Make it illegal to watch. God. Anyway, I always like the packaging. Not just the front cover, but the back is so pretty.
Patrick SquarePants. I like that. I like that they actually put in the effort for that crap. Even on this, like that's wild. Like they even bothered with that. Thanks for ruining my shot.
Oh fuck.
Alright, so back here, since the camera boy was so rudely reminding me, I haven't talked about these yet. I still have the sticker for the free tickets. So funny story, I never watched the first one in theaters. I didn't like the style, I guess. I didn't like how they looked. What I did watch for some reason was the show on Cartoon Network, Riders of Berk, and also Defenders of Berk. God, that show was peak. That show was absolutely freaking Oscar worthy. I don't think they give Oscars for TV shows, but if they did, it would be Oscar worthy.
You mean the Emmys?
Shut up, camera boy!
Okay.
I was absolutely hooked on this show. I just loved the world, the characters, all the different dragons, clans, and everything. So it got me to watch the movie, and let me tell you, it was bizarre to see them act this way. I was so used to their dynamics in the show that they almost felt out of character to me. It's like watching old videos of your parents. Like, that's not how they would act, they're supposed to be fighting. But I did come to love it eventually. Not as much as the show, mind you, but enough to where Dragons 2 was one of my most hyped movies pretty much of all time. And when I watched it in theaters, I was absolutely blown away. And it seems like my parents caught on to how much I love this series, because that Christmas, they went above and beyond to get me the special edition Blu-ray of Dragons 2. Redemption.
So you can see, what is this special, little section for? It's for a sheep game, where you throw it into it's basically like a basketball thing, where you throw it in. It's to reference one of the things that they do in the movie. Funny enough, I actually did use this. I played this for quite a bit. But then one of the sheep lost their legs, and that got me to stop playing. I'm like, okay, no more. I gotta preserve this for the rest of my life. And the Blu-ray, it's still in good condition because I almost never took it out.
Oh, but the special features were so cool in the first one. On the Blu-ray disc, you got the Book of Dragons short, where you get to see all the neat little concepts of dragons in this world. They weren't seen in the movie, but they were used for the show, and that was so cool. And the DVD one had Legend of the Bone Napper, which has one of the most amazing dragon designs ever. So, calcium or papyrus, take your pick.
It's a very annoying packaging, but I think it's It's like, I don't know, there's nothing for me to say about that. This is a weird Carl's Jr. pin that doesn't have the pin anymore. But this is something special. Dance heads. Oh my god, this thing, I'm so happy I still have this. I'm so happy we preserved this.
For those who don't know, which I'm guessing is all of you because wow, talk about niche. Dance Heads was a studio that decapitated you and put your severed head onto a dancing undersized body as you watched on in abject horror. It seems like they were primarily a studio, but one day at a mall we came across a Dancing Heads booth where you pop in a coin, pop out your head and let it run its magic. Pretty ambitious for its time, especially considering it was only $5 and you got a DVD to take home. That may be why they seem to have gone out of business years ago. But hey, you made at least one kid very happy. That one kid is worth nothing now, but still.
It's funny because you can see me struggling to like keep my head up because it was like at the weirdest angle and I was just a tad bit too short for it. So I was like struggling to keep my head up. And at one point you could see like, I think my mom lifting my head because I just couldn't keep it there. And they went out of business like a while ago. We can't find it anywhere, which is a shame because my sister, after seeing this, she really wants to have one of her own, but they don't have them anymore. I don't think so anyway. So we got a good little piece of history right here. Yeah, I own Ready Player One. Don't tell anyone.
Look, cut me a break. Can you really blame me for being young and excited of all the characters I recognized? All the references and Easter eggs? This movie was tailor-made for two groups. Young folks entering their teens, and the rest. We all have our guilty pleasures, so don't come at me when yours is like the cat in the hat.
Apparently the consensus online is that this movie sucks because it panders to nostalgia and the story is bad and yeah. Don't tell anyone that I like this movie. Sonic the Hedgehog. I got this for my birthday, and I don't think I ever put this in because it's on Netflix. Yeah, it still has the shrink wrap. Oh my god, I feel bad. It's a good movie. Very, very, very nice. Okay, I got the Predator 4 movie collection. These are great movies. I don't care who you are. Even The Predator. The reason why I wanted to get this was because of The Predator. I really liked that when I watched it in theaters. Again, the consensus online is that movie sucks.
Okay, those last three were more recent additions than the rest. Early to mid-teens to be exact, but I think it's important to cover all my bases and appreciate the consistency of what I liked as a kid versus what I liked as a teen. And after analyzing all the data, I've come to the conclusion that I just have dog shit taste.
The Polar Express! Where did I get this? I don't remember this at all.
Man, I got nothing to say about this movie apart from that I liked it as a kid. I liked the weird train setting, the songs were fun, and I had poor eyesight, so the characters were just vague smudges to me. Therefore, I didn't care about how they looked.
Alright, sorry for...
Oh.
Alright, sorry for the drop in quality. Camera boy forgot to charge the shite.
It's your phone.
Shut up, camera boy!
Don't yell at me.
Shut up! Shut up! Oh, okay, now this was one hidden away. The 4 kid favorites, the Hall of Fame collection. God damn it. This I watched religiously. The rest, honestly, Johnny Bravo I watched the least. This one I watched like the third, and Courage the Cowardly Dog I watched the second most.
While I did love all of these shows, Ed, and Eddie was definitely the golden goose of the collection. There's just something about it that kept pulling me back in to rewatch it over and over again. I just can't put my finger on what it is. Oh, I know. It was my disassociation from reality, constantly yearning to live in a fake and glorified cartoon world with impossible standards. Silly me. Looking back, it's kind of weird how much I loved this show, when it was sometimes also kind of difficult for me to watch. Now, I'm not gonna throw myself a pity party, there isn't the time and place for that, but I could somewhat relate to the Eds being kinda outcasted from the rest of the kids. It wasn't the most fun to see that sometimes, but that just goes to show how amazing this cartoon was, when I was able to look past that and still adore it. Though it is possible, something more psychological was at play here. What the fuck, man? Yeah, the DVD came with these little shorts called The Plank Family Players, which features the character Plank with his family in various scenarios. They're not all meant to be creepy, but there's this weird eeriness with the style, the music choice, the dull lifelessness in the family's smiles. It's just a little unnerving. Oh, but it also came with the commercial for the video game, The Misadventures, and oh my god, I cannot express how badly I wanted this. But this was well past the generation of consoles that I had, so I could do nothing about it. Until now!
Why must you torment me? Why must you torment me? Why must you torment me?
I don't have as much to say for the rest of the disc included. They were all some great shows with great episodes. Trauma on a Disc, Paternity Test, and Sex Offenders Are Us. I had all the perfect ingredients in one set. It's all I could ever need.
I've looked for them. When I was a kid, I looked for more of these collections. But I could never find them. So it was a one-time deal. Oh, okay. Okay. Shark Boy and Lava Girl. For every kid who dreams up of the electric lights, there's the one that dreams of the atom bomb. This right here is the atom bomb. I know I misquoted it. Shut up, camera boy. I can see you shaking your head at
How
me.
could you misquote
Shut up,
the
camera boy!
most iconic line?
Shut up! 3D glasses.
I don't know how, but I watched this movie many times before I even owned the damn thing. The Shark Boy and Lava Girl influence reaches far and wide, I guess. But I found this at a yard sale a few years ago, and I decided to finally seal the deal. Well, I own it now. I mean, like, what do I even say about this movie? It's weird, it's cheap, it's dumb, it's a joy.
It wasn't awful. It was ahead of its time. The amazing special effects for these movies. It was unheard of. This crazy bastard went at it and he made something special. So how can we fault him for that? Journey to the Center of the Earth. Now this movie I actually watched quite a bit because as a kid I didn't like adult films, which is not what these are called. That's reserved for another thing. These are just like, these are just live action films.
What I meant was live action films. Things that weren't exclusively animated or cartoony in a sense. But this one was cool enough to make an exception. It came with 3D glasses. Only one has survived. Not sure what happened to the rest of them. It's one of those movies that you just know they had 3D in mind. Some of these shots would have never existed if it weren't. The 3D is kind of obsolete nowadays, but to me this was one of the sickest effects ever. Oh my god, it felt like I was really being spit on.
That's the second time a man has spit on my face. It has this cool, super cool cover, man. Whoa, it's like I'm really falling with them. I was like, oh, the two guys are safe, man. But the lady is like, she's dead. She's straight up dead. Like, she's on a rock that's fine. She's straight up dead. I don't know who they're trying to fool, but she is 100% about to die. Okay, let's not beat around the bush anymore. I got the Spider-Man Blu-rays. But yeah, I decided to own it too, and I watched this one like 5 times. And the other 2 I watched like once each. They're fine movies, I just don't care much for them. But yeah, oh god, that was so... I love that a lot. Home Alone. I like this movie. There's my review for that. The Home Alone collection. The first Home Alone, a classic. The second Home Alone, a classic. The third Home Alone, I don't care. The fourth Home Alone, that one's bad.
Home Alone. What a special little film. We got the first one at a yard sale, so when I saw this at Walmart, I needed it. Luckily, my parents liked these movies too, so it wasn't a hard sell. I watched the first 2 movies more times than I can count. The third one I can count. 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. The fourth one I only watched once and never again. Even as a kid, I knew this one was rough. Like, the formula has been completely lost. Just nothing gets done in this film. This feels like you forgot an assignment was due, and you marathoned it on the last day. There's this weird thing where I think they were trying to pretend like this Kevin was the same as the first 2. One of the robbers also has the same name as one from the first, and they know each other and recall events that happened before this movie? What the hell is going on? Is this movie that desperate and sloppy? Or is it meant to be some sort of soft reboot? I don't care enough to look it up, so let's just assume the answer is this movie is bad and move on with our lives. The third movie was fine, I enjoyed it well enough, but it's nothing compared to the first 2.
Weirdly enough, this disc of Home Alone doesn't have the same special features as this one.
There was this fun little mini mockumentary style video where the cast tried to guess what happened to the character Buzz after the events of the movie.
And I did end up in prison, just like everyone thought, for putting a donkey in a bathtub.
It's not the biggest loss not having it. No wait, scratch that. It is! How could you ever live without it? The collection also has this lame disc system where you need to stack them on top of each other. I would complain more about it, but I just realized I can bury the third and fourth movie with the first 2, so you know what? A blessing in disguise.
But not really. Finally, we have these 4 movies. So when I was a kid and I got my bunk beds, I'm like, oh cool, I get these 2 shelves to myself now. Like they didn't actually belong to me, but since I slept up here, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna make these all my own now. So I'm like, what should I put up here? I know, I'm gonna put all my movies up here.
And oh boy did I. I even included movies that weren't mine. My dad has his own little collection of DVDs, and if I thought it was cool or important enough, I put it up with mine. I took them back down over the years, but there's still a few stragglers. So, lightning round.
King Kong. Oh sweet, it still has some of the biggest. Oh wow. Whoa, get one Nestle King bar and get one free? Up to $129. King Kong is back. 2 free movie tickets. A limited time offer. I wonder if I can still get it. Oh, it has those special little clips on the edge. Never watched them. I decided to keep this up here because it's Jurassic Park, you know. Just to show to everyone that yeah, I'm into things. I like watching movies. Pacific Rim. Yeah, I like giant robots. I'm gonna put this up here with me and stuff. So there we have it. It's been a while since I've seen this space cleaned. Well, it's not clean, it's dusty as hell. Ugh. Ew. There's like a clean space right here where all the films were. Oh god, I shouldn't move this.
Let's get a zoom in.
I got them from 2 separate parties that I decided to keep for some reason. Oh sweet, free mirrors. This candle I also got from a party and I realized, oh wow, this is a little cute thing, I'm gonna keep it. Why am I talking about this? These aren't DVD collections. So this is what I would consider my childhood DVD collection. Also known as my DVD collection, because to be honest, I don't really buy that many DVDs. It wasn't until recently where I started to buy more movies, more physical media. My childhood movie collection is just my collection in general. Might as well fill out every single film that I own, because really, there's not that many left. So, you know, let's go back to the basement. Alright, here we are. I had to pull out old Betsy. Once upon a time, my parents gaslit me into thinking we were gonna move, and we never did. So I just packed up a bunch of my stuff. It's fine. I was running out of space up there anyway, so it actually turned out to be pretty beneficial for me. Okay, where did I put this garbage? The Super Mario Bros. DVDs. Oh my god, just looking at these sends me skyrocketing. Oh, dude, these have memories engraved into them. So, funny enough, I actually kept these in order of which I got them. Of all places, you'll never guess where I got these. Take a moment, take 5 seconds to guess. I got these at Ross.
One day I was forced to a Ross by my parents, and while wandering around, I was shocked. Nay, I was flabbergasted to find that Mario had movies? Or at least what I encapsulate as movies at the time. They were cartoon compilations. And it was all over for me. From then on, whenever we went to that store, I made sure to get a new Mario DVD each time, as a little tax for bringing me to a boring ass clothing store. And I acquired quite the little collection until eventually they just stopped showing up. It was heartbreaking, but I was just happy to have what I already did. I literally memorized which disc had which episodes. Why did I flunk 4th grade? Because too much of my brain was occupied by the 10 Commandments. But it was all worth it for those special Saturday mornings. Waking up early to print a disc so I can chug on some mango juice while watching Mario. And waking up my entire family because I had the volume too high. Now that was bliss.
There's like some weird, each one of them have these things. This one is double-sided for some reason. And it has the same cover as the one that I showed you. I don't know why. These things are full of like mistakes and weird, just the weirdest decisions ever. I don't know who designed these things or why they did that. And they had like little advertisements for more, so I never got the full thing. For like Zelda, Sonic, what is this, Garfield? That's not Garfield. But yeah, I actually watched the Sonic one on Netflix, but that's a story for another day. The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3, the Super Mario Super Show, and what's the other one called? Super Mario World. Like 3 different shows, all pretty much being the same thing. For some reason, I really liked how Yoshi's nose looked on the disc thing. I would just like look at that for a while. Game on. God, man.
This one, What a Wonderful Warp, was my absolute favorite one. It had all the best episodes, including one where the main bad guy, King Koopa, uses Mario's power-ups against him. Move over 3D Land and World. Time to pay respect to the OG. For Christmas that year, I even left a note for Santa Claus telling him that I wanted, quote, the entire collection of Mario movies. Of course, I didn't get them, cause adoy.
That right there is my obsession. Godzilla. I just love him. Ever since I saw the one in the theaters, the 2014 version, I was hooked. I was obsessed. I wanted to watch every single one.
Every Godzilla movie has too much to be said about them, so I'll save that for another time. For now, all you need to know is that I was a hardcore Godzilla fan. I wanted to watch all of his movies. So I asked my dad to buy one off of Amazon, and after a while I thought, yeah, enough time has passed, let me ask him for another one.
It's really cool. They even put him on the bag, like they put in the extra effort to make sure his back isn't just like a white, page.
A few years back they released a Showa era collection and I was first in line.
This thing is crazy. I don't know why they decided to make it so big. Like, this was unnecessary. I didn't know it was gonna be this big when I bought it.
Eventually, they ran dry of Blu-rays, and the rest were either unavailable or crazy expensive. Rapid fire round for things I bought recently. The FNAF movie. Great movie, I loved it, I can't wait for the sequel. John Wick collection. Fourth one was coming out soon and I was always interested in this series, so I decided to watch them all. Awesome movies all around. 2001 Space Odysseys. This was on sale in the Barnes & Nobles, and I always heard this movie was good. Got it, and yep, that was pretty good. Barbie movie. It was on sale and I wanted to watch it. A great and fun movie all around. Iron Giant. So this is a weird case, literally. I saw this on eBay and it claimed to be a special edition exclusive to Walmart. I was always interested in this film and I never watched it before, so I thought I might as well get it now. This quote-unquote special cover is just a piece of paper you slip on over the normal one. The only other person who seems to own this is this guy online, which leads to the question,
Did I get scammed?
last but certainly not least, seriously, these were so expensive, the best 200 SpongeBob episodes and Ed, Edd and Eddy, the complete series. Of course I got collections for two of my favorite cartoons ever, are you kidding? It's just so nice to have it all whenever I want. The SpongeBob one came with this poster, which, wow, okay, as far as posters as bonuses go, this one is actually worth a damn. It's almost like a game of Where's Waldo, with characters big and small from all across the series' history. And of course, 200 SpongeBob episodes. Finally, I have full access to the first season of SpongeBob. It only took me, what, like a whole decade? And like I said before, I grew up with the later seasons. So even if they're not as good, I'm still glad I have them. It's the most wholesome case of Stockholm Syndrome. But later on, they released another set with 300 episodes? Why didn't you do that earlier? Oh boy, is this mesmerizing. I've had to make do with the same 6 episodes for years, since the show stopped airing anywhere. I love them, but oh my god, there was a whole other world out there. I actually got this for Christmas too, which reminds me, this collection is ruined. It doesn't include either of the holiday specials or the movie, which... I can kinda understand the movie, but the specials? Really? Can you at least include these 3 in their own little special pack? You can even call it something like Special Ed. Oh wait.
And with that, I'm finally done with everything. Just kidding, I forgot about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, so I read the book when I was in elementary and it became my favorite. So when my parents told me that there was a movie about it, I just about made chocolate myself. My dad rented it, and I was kinda bothered that it wasn't one for one with the book, but once I got over that, I really liked this movie. So a while later at a store, I saw this 2-pack that had it and immediately jumped at the opportunity. I've watched and loved it plenty of times over the decade. And before you ask, no, I never saw Where the Wild Things Are. It's kinda insane I've gone this long without watching it, but at this point I kinda feel awkward about it. It's like asking your neighbor what their name is, even though you lived next to each other for years now. So I'm gonna postpone that uncomfortable conversation for just a while longer.
And with that, I'm actually finally done going over my digital versatile disc assemblage. Sure, I could be pedantic and talk about more movies that my dad owned that I sometimes considered my own, but at that point I'm just looking for an excuse to feel the spit build up in my mouth. And of course, these aren't the only movies I ever watched as a kid. I saw plenty of other stuff at relatives' place, the movie theater, on TV, streaming, my sister's own bootleg DVDs, even at school on rainy days or near the end of the school year. And that's just it. I watched just about anything as a kid, but these DVDs are the ones I specifically chose to have accessible to me at all times, or at the very least they chose me. I was always a bit shy asking for things from my parents, so now you know that not even my anxiety was enough to keep me from Ice Age. Even if there's more than a few oddballs in there, I'm satisfied with what I have. Granted, Monsters Inc. is overriding a lot of these, but I still have so many happy memories of just caring about nothing and getting lost into my favorite worlds. These movies helped shape me. It helped me find my tastes and preferences for a lot of things. And they brought me hours of joy. And isn't that what it's all about? This is my DVD collection. And I'm looking forward to expanding it in the years to come. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy... Oh. What's going on here? Oh god!